The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining. So I'm Patrick McCormick. Whole goal of this is just to kind of take you guys through a mile-high view of somewhat of our system could do for you guys. Really kind of show you how we can help make you faster and more accurate with all your estimates. After doing this, if you guys want, feel free, definitely give me a call. Best number is 800-444-4890. And what I'll do is actually log you into my screen, go through a lot more detail with you, kind of go through a job together, really get you a lot more information on that system. But I'm going to go ahead and kind of get this started. And at the end, I'm actually going to set aside a few minutes. So if you guys have questions, anything like that, you can definitely hit me with them and go from there. So let me jump into the system real quick and show you some of what it can do. So with our estimating software, it's a true multi-user system. Now, what that means, you can have multiple estimators in here at the same time doing estimates. Now, with this here, when you first log in, you're going to get this screen. This is your job screen. Really, all this is showing you is your job history. And to kind of come in here and play around with it, I'm just going to use this 149 West Boston as an example. So I'm going to load some drawings up real quick, hitting the details button. Come down here to the bottom and hit my drawings. Now, we're not picky on the format. So PDF, TIFFs, JPEG, PNGs, really any of your flat files are fine. But what it's going to do is break them all out. That way you can pick which ones you want by selecting the box, or just say import all, just to get them all in there nice and easy. There we go, we're set. So now I'm going to open that job up so we can start playing around with it a little bit. So then come up here to the top and hit open. So we take your entire bid process and break it down really into just 5 easy steps. And those steps are right here at the top. You get your step 1 jobs, 2 labels, 3 takeoff, 4 extend, and 5 is that bid summary. So your first step jobs, that's everything we just did. So we open the job, or you would make a new job and kind of go from there. Now your step 2, your labels. All you do is you simply hit the button and it opens up your labels for you. Now the cool thing about the labels is there's not really a right or wrong way of doing it. All you're doing is going to organize your job. So I've got a couple change orders I threw in here as well as my base bid. I organize them by floors and by sheets. You could do systems, you could do really anything you want, just depending on what the job calls for. So I'm going to run with those. So I'm just going to simply close that down and jump onto my step 3, my takeoff. So what we're doing in the takeoff is really finding our parts and pieces. And we're going to start applying those to drawings. Now, before I show you guys the drawings, I do want to go through your items and assemblies because that's really the parts and pieces you're applying on the plans themselves. So assemblies make life easy, and that's what this window here is going to show you. Now, the assemblies are a group of items thrown into a bucket, basically. So I'm going to start with the items, show you how that part works out, and then we'll jump into the assemblies. And from there, we'll throw stuff on a drawing. So come down here to the bottom, hit my items button. Now you're going to get this entire database preloaded up for you. Now everything in here has already got a price and labor, so you're already set up. And to find something, all you do is simply use your menu and just go left to right. So copper, say you're playing with some 95.5, some copper tube, and some L hard. Hit that right there. And now it takes you to all your sizes. Now I mentioned your price and labor, and to kind of show you what I'm talking about with that, I'm going to hit that piece of 1 inch and open up my review. And right here, I can see my pricing and I can see a few different labor down there at the bottom. Now this labor is all just man hours. At the very end, we'll actually assign a crew and throw some dollars to it. So every piece in here has that information. You can update it, change it, tweak it, do whatever you want. Make this system yours. Now, going through, you can see we've got a pretty extensive database. You got your ductwork, you got insulation, you got excavation and shoring, demo. It's a complete setup for you guys. So you don't really have to worry about finding parts and pieces, anything like that. It's all right there. Now assemblies, I'm going to jump onto those real quick. Those are set up pretty similar. So you've got an entire database for you already. Now to find something, all you do is simply, again, use that menu. Pipe, copper, type L95.5. But now it's asking if you need hangers. Now the reason for that, as I mentioned, an assembly is a group of items thrown into one click. So if I say no hangers and I click on a piece of 1 inch and I do some takeoff, I'm going to get my couplings, my solder, and my copper tube. Now, if you say you need hangers like clevis hangers, simply hit your clevis hanger in a C-clamp, hit that piece of 1 inch, and now you're going to get everything to hang it as well. So it just really makes it to where you guys are 100% consistent. There's no possible way somebody can forget the washers or the bolts or anything like that, because it's already done for you. So jumping on, kind of show you guys a couple different assemblies in here, like our fixtures. So if we say, all right, let's do a water closet, bring our water in with that L copper, and let's use PVC as a good example. Now, if we're doing a little commercial job, maybe I'm doing open front, hit that there, and I've got all my parts and pieces I need. I'm set. Now, you can obviously change these assemblies. So if I come up here and I don't want a wax ring, all I do is come down here, delete that out, and add whatever I want in here. There's no limit to how many items or assemblies you can have. So again, tweak it, make it your own. Everybody does something a little bit different. So make this match how you guys actually install everything. Now, besides just getting your parts and pieces, we also down here at the bottom actually have a DEP specific tab. And what that's going to do is actually allow you to assign a symbol, shape, color, everything like that to a piece of material. So when you put it on a drawing, it looks like the correct piece of material you're putting on. So if you guys do any sort of design builds, anything like that, that right there plays a big factor in it, because even if you get a blank set of drawings, you can design it and do the estimating at the same time. So I'm going to jump on. I'm going to show you guys how some of that takeoff works on a drawing by hitting that big green Design Estimator Pro button at the top. Popped up on my other screen. So first thing you got to do, go to the top, tell it what drawing you want. You just hit your drop down and select the one right there. Now zooming in, zooming out, super simple. All you do is you roll the wheel on your mouse. Now this pops up asking if you need to rotate it. Sometimes the drawings come in sideways or whatever, so you can fix it here. I don't need to on this one, so I'm going to cancel that. And I've got to set my scale. Now I could do architectural or engineering. I could do imperial or metric, just depending on what you need. But on a drawing like this, I actually don't know my scale. So I'm actually going to set it from a known point. Now, pretty simple. You line these two little green dots up on something you know the length of. Like that line right there is 8 feet. Perfect. All right, so now we are looking at a scale of 1 equals 13.191. So zoom out, move around, scale's not going to change for you. So to start doing takeoff, you've got a few different ways of doing it. 2 monitors, 3 monitors, 4 monitors works great with this system. One's not a problem. I'm going to show you guys how that works. But if you have multiple screens, you can actually take your drawing, put it off on your other screen, and have access to those parts and pieces behind it. Now, running 1 monitor, nice and easy. All we do is minimize this down and grab the parts from here and start doing some takeoff. Now, before we start applying parts and pieces to that drawing, I do want to change something. So right here at the top, it's going to tell you, we were looking at those labels before, and these match up right here at the top, telling you what section of the job you're currently working in. Now, with that, you've got your audit trail. The audit trail is just keeping track of things you've done in the past. So I took off 3 combis in the past with 9 of them. I was logged in as my admin, and that was almost a year ago. So shows all your old takeoff down there below. So if I take that drop down and say, hey, I'm on floor 2, sheet P4, brand new section of my job, I've got a brand new audit trail right there for me. So now if I start doing takeoff on my drawing, grab some 4-inch cast iron and just simply click to start and click to end, we can actually see that I am marking up everything on this drawing, nice and simple. And we can see down here in the bottom left, I just did my 4-inch cast, 5 runs, about 146 feet. Now, as soon as you put it on the drawing, it's there, you're done. You don't have to worry about anything else. Again, that's an assembly. It's getting everything that you need. So now when I throw my 2-inch on, it's the same exact thing. Now, all your pipe's gonna work the same way. So running copper, running PVC, anything like that is gonna do it on its own, give you different color, different symbols, shapes, anything like that that you want to. Kind of mentioned the design estimating, actually getting in and doing your as builds or anything like that. So I could double click that line and put something as simple as a CI2 and do that right up here on this one as well. Now doing that simply labels every single piece of pipe that I took off. So if you get into a design job, Go through here, do your takeoff, throw your little text overlays on it, and you're done. Anybody can look at this and know exactly what type and size of pipe you ran. Now to throw your fixtures on there, same exact concept. Just grab them simply out of your database, grab an open front, pull this back up, and just simply click. Spin it around, make them look nice and pretty if you want to. That's really all it takes. Now we already looked at that assembly, so we already know it's getting everything we need. So when I grab the labs, I don't have to worry about it. So going through this then, there we go. Really, as long as you can read a drawing, you can do the takeoff. That's really all it comes down to. Now you've got a couple little shortcuts over here on the right. You've got a favorites list. So if you guys are typically using a certain style of pipe or specific fixtures or something on the majority of your projects, load up your favorites list of anything you need. Like I've got mine set with some copper. So if I simply grab my piece of 2-inch and start running some copper, there you go, I'm set. Now, anything that you have done on this shows up in your hot list in case you need it again. So get your 2-inch, do some more runs of my 2-inch. Nice and simple. Now there's a lot of other bells and whistles and stuff like that you could do with the Design Estimating Pro. You can actually go in here and put multiple drawings on top of each other. A lot of guys will do that to compare the trades. That way you know if something's going to be a problem before it happens in the field. You could do print out legends. You can do all sorts of things, grid lines, square foot. I mean, really anything you need to, you could do it on this system. So, and I know I only got a couple minutes to kind of show it to you guys. That's why at the beginning I mentioned more detail, definitely give me a call. Again, that number is 800-444-4890. And I can spend as long as you guys want going through this thing, really showing you the ins and outs of it. But for now, I'm going to kind of call that good. I'm going to say hypothetically, we got all the takeoff we need done. And I'm going to simply close this down. So we could see all that takeoff we did, dropping in here. Now from there, all I'm going to do is come up to the top and jump on and hit that step 4. Now the reason I want to show you what this extension is going to do is it's really going to help keep everything nice and organized for you. So we did our takeoff, but now we're looking at all of our material. So it's going to go through and tell you that, hey, your 4-inch cast iron in total on this project, we're looking about 1,400 feet. It's going to cost you $8.55. So getting it from a supplier is going to be about 12 grand. At 0.11 man hours per foot to do the install, so you're going to be slinging 4-inch cast for about 151 hours. So you have that detail for everything. Now up in the top right, you've got your total cost for material. Now nothing on here is marked up yet, so it's your true cost, your 118,000. You're looking just shy of 3,000 hours to do that install. Now this is for your entire job, which is great, perfect for bidding, but there's a couple other things we can do in here that really helps you out long term, kind of getting more into the project management side. So not only can I change and manipulate any of my pricing, any of my labor, or my quantities if I want to, but I can also take this and actually send a list out to my supplier. Go to my item pull sheet, come up to the top, export that out to Excel, throw it in an email and send it on out. So a lot of guys are doing it that way. That way they can get their material kind of ordered, get official quotes, everything like that for it, especially with how volatile the price is right now on material. But you can also get a lot more detail out of this by going to your labels tab at the top. Now what this is going to show you is I can say I only want to focus on my base bid and I only want to know my information from my underground. Go back to my material. And I can tell you that your underground for this project is going to cost you about $20,000 in material. It's going to take about 240 hours. And this is everything that you need to get that done. So again, a couple cool different reports that you could do in here. I can also get some nice comparisons. Again, more on the project management aspect of things. Jump back over to my material, collapse that all down. Tell you that for your base bid, there's your deadlines right there to hit that 1,900 hours. Now anybody in the field that says, hey, underground took 250, you got to figure out where to make up a little bit of time before that catches up at the end of the project. So again, same with this section here. There's a lot more detail, a lot more information we can jump into, just kind of give you guys a mile high point of view of it. So I'm going to hit that send to summary, which is going to send us on to that step 5, that last step up top. So I'm going to hit send to summary. Hit OK, close this down. Now with that step 5, what we're gonna end up doing here is really finalize everything that we just did. Now you can see at the bottom, I've got a couple change orders in here, and I'll show you how all those kind of play into effect. But that base bid, look at that 96,000 for that material, and that's transferred right here up top. Now again, no overhead or profit yet. We'll do that at the very end, because the main thing we want to know is what this job's going to cost us first. So looking at it, I've got that 96,000. I've got 1,900 hours. Well, to assign some labor out, all I simply do is go down here to the bottom, and we go left to right through these tabs, and that finalizes pretty much everything. And when you do those, it's going to automatically fill in here. Now, as you see, the labor is my next tab at the bottom. But before I go down there and start building up a crew, I want to make sure I can man the project. I want to know how long it's going to take, how many guys go out there, everything like that. So to do that, you simply come right here to the right. Say, all right, well, to knock this project out in 1 month, working 40 hours a week, I need 11 guys. Well, I don't have 11 guys that could throw on this project. I've only got 4. So I need to make sure they're okay with it taking just shy of 3 months. So now I'm set. So now I know I'm good with the 4-man crew. Pretty easy. You just hit that labor tab at the bottom and simply build your crew. Click on your foreman, hit the arrow, and it assigns them to the job. So I'm just going to bump 4 guys across real quick. And you can change the hourly rates, change the burdens, obviously make it match you guys. And then that way, when you come through here in a perfect world, everybody's turning a wrench at the same time. Everybody's doing about 477 hours each, and that labor is going to cost you about 76,000. So when we're done with that, all you do is you jump on, hit the quotes, which is that next tab. Now with this section here, all we're going to do is actually drop in the dollar value of any quoted material we had to get. It's like your labs. Maybe you're talking 125 a lab, and you had 8 of them. Well, there you go. You're set. In that water closet, maybe you're 250, and you had another 8. There you go. You're set. And you can hit add at the bottom, water heaters, water softeners, anything like that. Now, everything in here can be set up beforehand in your template. So if you guys are typically using a specific water closet, or you already have the pricing or anything like that for this, you could drop that in before you even start the job. Same thing with the subcontractors, which is that next tab at the bottom. Come through here. If you're doing installation, again, throw it in. Otherwise, come right here and just say, hey, maybe we're looking at 15 grand for your installation. There you go. You're done. Then add those lines in if you need any more. Direct job expense, same concept. Maybe some permits and fees. Maybe you're 1750 there. I like doing as build, so I'm gonna throw another 550 into it. Any equipment that we need to pick up, come over here. Say, hey, maybe a backup, 125 bucks a day for 3 days, an easy 375. Or even if you want to charge a maintenance on something like an air compressor, well, $5 a day. It's going to be out there for the 2 months, so 60 days. Easy 300 bucks in case something happens to it. Now we can also bond a job if you need, build up that table. You can do amount or percent, really just depends on how you need to see it. And then you also got those taxes. Come through here, get that tax rate in. Again, set that up in your template so you don't ever have to worry about it. And then when you go back to your top sheet, now we can see that we have dollars in all these here. So I can actually tell you that this project's going to cost you about $201,645.20. Now you're not making a dime on it yet, so I'm going to keep that number right there close. And to change that, all I do is apply some overhead. So I'm going to start out with 10% and start with my 15% for my profit. Now doing that there just fills in this entire column here and that one there all at the same time. You can change these to whatever you need. So maybe you're looking at 20 here and only 8 there. Not a big deal. Hone those in if you need to. But now you actually have a sell price of about $253,000, making 20%, about $51,000 coming back to you in return. Now you can still change anything in here. Nothing in this is finalized yet. If somebody starts going back and forth with the pricing, anything like that, you could easily come down here to the bottom and say, all right, well, we want this project, so let's drop it down to $230,000. You're still making 12%, so not too bad, but you are walking away with $28,000. Now, that's barely covering your overhead, so you got to kind of compare some numbers, but you've got a nice little negotiating tool down there at the bottom for you as well. Now from here, you can jump into a few different reports. Just kind of a nice couple ways to wrap things up. You can either open up some graphs, get some nice little displays going, and it's all interactive, so you can click on it and it zooms into everything. You also have your change order graphs as well. You have some schedules, so it can actually make a nice little Gantt chart for you. Or come up here and hit this print button. It's actually going to take everything we did, throw it into a nice little report. I'll make that full screen real quick. There we go. Showing you all that job information at the beginning, some notes and everything I threw in there. Now you've got all your costs and everything at the bottom, and your second, third page just breaks it out even more, telling you your labor, markups, taxes, everything like that for you. So I'm going to kind of turn it over to you guys for a second and just see if anybody has any questions on anything I went through. I know I covered a lot of information real quick. Again, kind of that mile high view sort of thing, but does anybody have any questions on the software? All right, I don't see any questions coming through, so I'm gonna give you guys a couple more minutes on. Oh, we do have one that just popped up. Let me see if I can. Yeah, so this one here, it's McCormick Systems. The one I'm actually playing around in is the Win 6000. We have two different levels. So we have the Win 3000 as well as the Win 6000. Difference between them really gets more into your customization and your project management side of things. So being able to customize some of the reports, the schedules, the graphs, some of that stuff. More information on the differences, definitely give me a call because I can go into quite a bit of detail on them. But no, definitely good question. Very good question. Training, absolutely. So what we end up doing is whenever somebody picks up the system, we actually have a full implementation team. All they do is teach you how to use it. So that comes with our training videos, our tutorials. You also get one-on-one time with our trainer. That way they'll log onto your screen and hone the training specifically to you. Everybody learns a little bit of different pace, so that really works out very well. We've also got our support guys out back, and they are second to none. Labor. So we've got a couple different ways to put labor in there. So you have access to MCA, PHCC, especially if you remember, really only if you remember. But we also have the bid labor. And the bid labor and change order labors come standard in our system, and it's really more so a percent of what those two are. That way, when you get the system, you've got something that's biddable, but you're not going to underbid yourself on that time. Training, got a couple options for you. You could do online training, which that's the training that's included. We also actually have training classes down here in Phoenix. So this time of the year is actually great. It's only, 60, 70 degrees out, so it's not too bad. But come down to Phoenix, do a 3-day class. That does have a cost to it, so if you're interested, let me know and I can shoot you out something. Or again, give me a shout and I can go over that with you as well. But typically a lot of the training just happens online. That way you guys can continue to do your normal day, but still learn the system. So with the BIM, kind of an interesting question. So what we end up doing is everything we work with is your flat files. A lot of the guys that do the BIM won't put the time and effort into it until they've already won the project. Just that way, it's more your project review, everything like that. And takes a lot of time compared to the estimating aspect to actually do everything in the 3D side. So right now we don't have any way to take our stuff and push it into BIM. But again, a lot of guys don't spend the time doing that until they've already won the project. So I don't have access to who's really hitting me with the questions. I mean, it has a name, but it doesn't have any info on you itself. Somebody did just throw one up saying, hey, can you send info about the Phoenix training? Absolutely, it's up on our website, so it's not too hard to catch up there. My email is, I'm gonna throw it up there for you. So that right there is my email. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, definitely get a hold of me on that. And awesome, thanks, Rod. Yeah, I'll definitely shoot that to you. I'm gonna throw that in a different section real quick so I can keep that and get that information out. But again, send me the email as well, just that way I know I can get something over to you, or any other questions or something that pops up if that's easier for you guys. Absolutely. So another question was the integration with Foundation. So we were actually acquired by Foundation 5-6 months ago, sort of thing. So we've got the Foundation right there up top that will actually take the information from us and export it into them. They are in the process of building a live API. That way you can actually change the pricing in one and it integrates it into the other system as well. So that's only another couple months out. But the integration right now, absolutely take your information from the McCormick and push it on across. No, not a problem. That was an awesome question about the Foundation. Actually, I might have something for you real quick, just to kind of show you what, yep, there we go. So more on the Foundation side, it'll take all of this information from our system and push it straight on across. So that's a little bit more detail on what that last question was for you. So it looks like we've got a couple more minutes. Definitely don't want to cut you guys short. You guys are hitting me with some very good questions. Again, best thing, send me an email. I can give you a call or call into me, either way. I've been doing the plumbing mechanical stuff for quite a while. I mean, last name is McCormick, so I could basically make this program sing and dance for you. So please don't hesitate. Think of those other questions. Definitely reach on out. All right, Wendell, on that one, I'll probably have you shoot me an email just to get a little bit more examples, I guess, of what you're kind of looking at for an early schematic. Just because, again, everybody does things a little bit different, so I don't know how early you're talking. But yeah, definitely shoot me an email on that one. I can get you all the information across for it. All right, well, I am right about at the time to end this here. So again, thank you guys for joining, and again, you guys had some awesome questions going on into it. So do me a favor, reach on out if you do think of any more. Email's on the screen for you. Phone number is right below it. So give me a shout, shoot me an email, either way. I'd love to hear from you guys, and then touch base and go from there. So again, thank you guys for joining, and I look forward to talking to you later.